Hello, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Let's look at and see if we can get a potential sell over here as price pulls up. Hopefully like create like a fake out. It would be nice to see a little fake out above that resistance. Let's see what we can get over here. Daily is moving down bearish. We do have a lot of bearish momentum. I'm gonna look for a sell if we can break these lows. Actually, it needs to be these lows. Yeah, if it pulls up like that, that's really nice. Should I wait for this low or the previous low? I think the previous low should be fine, actually. That area should be good. Especially with this pullback that we're having. It's pulling up like this. Now it just needs to fake out the traders above that region there. It can take a sell. Or I'm gonna be looking for a sell over here. If we break below like 42.85, but let's see, it's starting to push up quite heavy. Oh, can it leave a wick over here? If it could leave a wick over here, that would be nice. I wouldn't want to see a candlestick body close above that region. Let's see something like that, and then it comes down like this. Yeah, I got 13 seconds. It looks like it might actually break on the opposite direction. Let's see. See if we can get like some kind of a candlestick close. Bearish like this. If that could happen, that would be the fake out right here. And then that would be the break for price to continue to move down bearish. So you see, we're kind of like visualizing and drawing the candlesticks before it happens over here. So let's see. Let's wait and see what the market gives. What will be the impact of news on gold today? Yeah, we have a lot of news today. You got to keep that in mind too. We might end up just ranging for a bit. I don't know if it's going to follow through to the upside, but we're expecting gold to actually start moving up during that New York session time. Yeah, I got a lot of news today. That's true. We got major news events. That's why I'm trying to get stuck in my my trade here and you know, like get it before getting close to news time. Sooner the better. I don't think we're going anywhere. I don't think we're going bullish. So there's probably a higher chance we're going to sell off as we're kind of like waiting for the news. So you got the fake out over here. Just need to see the break. So you can get a break here. Candlesticks coming down nice. We have a little clean range on the left-hand side on the 5-minute. Not too much, but enough to at least get a decent push. Hopefully we don't have a strong reaction off that SMA. We don't really have the SMAs in our favor in confluence on this one. We got that a 50 coming into the 50. Hopefully it doesn't just tap it and have a reaction. Oh my days. Holy. Holy. Man, that happened so quick. This will be stop the break even right over here, chat. Anybody managed to actually catch that? You got slipped? Man, that's annoying. It's such a, it's such a high confluence area that was for the break. Sheesh, man. Now look at it just melt. Yeah, you got it? All right, all right. Now it just melts. Oh, anyway. I'll be right back, chat. All right. We're back. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy right here. Price just completely ripped. I don't should have just taken a sell, even if the slippage wouldn't have been too bad. These are still pushed. Still follow through. Alright, let's see. There was a buyer absorption plus single candle buyer. So nice. Especially we drew the candle. You know what's crazy about this? We drew it exactly like what we expected. Exactly what we expected here. You know, price did a little bit of a fakey above and then start ripping down like this. Right? And then it broke and then followed through beautifully. Exactly what we expected over here. Now it's just selling off. This is bleeding. That was a London move, I think. Because now it's just straight up distribution. This new trading view. The leap co-marketed with TradeStation comes to an end. Ah, the leap is finished here. says that a paper trading competition. First place prize, 85k. Upsondane. Who is this? Oh wow, he has like, you could go on his trading view here. Thank you for those who have come to find me. I'm happy to be able to share my ideas with you. I am a Korean speaker, so my English is poor. Thank you for your understanding that I will be posting in Korean. This guy's the guy who won the first prize over here, the 85k. Last seen 15 minutes ago. Where are the ideas? It says 0 ideas. You have to like follow. What happens if we click follow? But there's 0 ideas here. What the hell is going on? Maybe he doesn't actually post his ideas. In total, 250 traders earned cash prizes and subscription extensions, but that's not all. We've got 2 special categories. The most successful trade. Earned profit. Nice. So I don't know what to do right now, chat. I don't know what to do. That was a move. That's a move. It's just paying out. It's just paying out at this point. The only thing we can do is wait. I guess. Congratulations to anybody who caught that, though. Let's freaking go. Why don't you trade futures? I don't know. Just like Goldspot. It doesn't matter what I trade. You know, if you're profitable, you're profitable. It doesn't matter what you trade. All those other things don't really matter. If you're making money, you're making money, right? Draw it like a man from the future. Yeah, exactly. Little time travel here. Oh, man, it was so good. It was so good. That fake out looked beautiful. Damn, that's like literally what I wanted. And it was beautiful because it already retraced up, so it was at the highest. I think this is the previous day's New York session lows. So you got in the 5-minute time frame, kill zones. This previous day's New York session lows. So we were like still at the tippy tops. You know, that's where I took my first sell this morning. Right over here. So then the second sell would have been right here. So we're still at the tippy top of that. But now, you know, prices move down and we would expect to see some kind of a retracement first come in, a price move up and then start move down again. Maybe that would be the second option. But the thing about the setups, like we've seen them play out back to back, right? We've seen like at least like 3 of them play out back to back. So we're gonna see, maybe we catch the second one. Well, we need to wait for the setup. We gotta see how clean it's gonna look, if it makes sense. Once you go to futures, the rest is history. Seems a lot of red envelopes today. Not sure which ones to watch out for. Yeah, we got loads of red envelopes. This is the ones you gotta look out for here is if you're trading gold, then you got ADP, you got core retail sales, non-farm payroll, retail sales, pretty much that. But you see, they're all coming at the same time. This is like 8:30, so this is all clustered up together. Non-farm payroll, retail sales. So at 8:30, we already know we're gonna get fireworks. For ADP, it's still tentative, so that means there hasn't been a time that's been decided yet. Besides from that, at 9:45, you're gonna have flash manufacturing. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Right now, we're just looking at 8:30 and 9:45 a.m. That's when fireworks should be coming in. So you don't really want to be in any trades when that happens. And that's another reason I thought this sales would be amazing, because like we're not expecting a bullish run yet. If anything, we're expecting a pricing in. Price to come down first and then set up for news later. Maybe a potential move to the upside in that case. Yes, sir. Hey, what's up? What's up, Joshua? I have a question. Are we paying for TradingView? Some special tools to get it? No, it's TradingView. If you're gonna have, I think, more than 2 indicators, you have to pay. Or is it 3? I think if you're gonna have more than 3 indicators, you have to pay. So if you don't have more than 3, then might not be necessary. It's not entirely necessary. What will be the impact of news on the gold today? Probably move up. Question, so on the daily there's a volume imbalance. Is that a strong zone because of it? I don't know, like the daily is moving down. That's all that I know. Daily is moving down, so if I'm going to be looking for a trade, I want to be moving down with it, right? Nice to see you fully recovered, almost fully recovered. I'm still supposed to be resting, but I'm at the supermarket. Beds are boring. Oh, nice, nice. Glad to see you doing well, or getting better at least. Man, and right towards the end of the year, huh? Right towards the end of the year. Almost made it. Almost made it. I think this year I got sick maybe like once, or maybe none. I can't remember the last time I got sick, to be honest. Almost made it. How do I see silver? I don't. It's been moving up, so maybe now it's gonna start retracing. Maybe now it will pull down a bit, but right now it does look like it's consolidating there on the daily a little. We got about a... Still got some time for the daily close, like 15 days. Yeah, it's a huge consolidation over there. That's silver is getting ready for a move. You got resistance up here, you got support. Still chopping up sideways. Oh yeah, that's also a good idea. Just get a source code. Through a source code of indicators and combine them into a script. Yeah, you could do that too. Alright. Gaming the system. This is always really good confluence with your entry. I think I only lost 1 trade when there's this confluence. I would say well over 80%. Oh. Yeah, I mean, that's good. That's good. That's really good. Especially if it shows up, you know, if it shows up like often enough. Amazing. You know, it's always nice to have confluence. The ones that you choose are the ones which show up most of the time. So for me, it's a fake out. Fake outs typically show up, and also the head and shoulders. Head and shoulders right here. But you see, in this situation, we didn't get it because it didn't break. Instead, it went up like this, gave us a fake out, and then broke towards the lows. I'll say you gotta at least have like a few confluences in your playbook, right? Maybe like a good amount would be 3. If you could aim for like at least 3 confluences, whatever those could be. You don't really need too much more than 3. Because you also want to be fluid. You want to be able to execute without much hesitation. 4200 or 4400, which comes first? Let's see on the daily. Wow, daily's ripping after tapping resistance there. I don't know. I think like 4200 might come first. 4400, I mean, because 4200 is quite a long way. You know, I think with the news and what we're expecting as well, price should move up. So we'd see like 4400. I see gold being mixed bias today. Ah, nice. I think it's just moving down here. I think it's just moving down. Well, whether to get a re-entry somewhere around here would be nice if it created like some kind of support and started breaking the lows. Where are we even heading to right now? Let's see on the 5 minute. We're down at support. Oh, down at support. Range has been filled. Because you got range 1 right here. From here to here. And then from here to here. And then from here to here. That's all within like a pretty decent what do you call it? Distance. Pretty decent distance. So now I see we're at the bottom of the range. So if we're gonna take another sell, then we have to see where the hell are we going then? Because this is like higher time frame zones at this point. So at that point we're just really relying on volume to play out. And now the issue with this is you got a range here. So price could just hold this area until the news. This area is like about a 211 pip zone. And you might even see if it breaks below, it might even fake out and then like hold this zone up until news. So yeah, that's a range that we're currently sitting in right now. Question is, if we're super directional, then we could definitely get a decent push. Got a nice kiss of death in here too. On the hourly. That 8 SMA right on top of it. Beautiful kiss of death. Oh man, we even got a kiss of death up there. Sheesh. So much confluence. Took my first trade with you today. Sell at 42.87. So it creates resistance over here. Chat, you think it has more juice in it? What do y'all think? Do we have juice? Does gold have the power? Does it have what it takes to break these lows and continue dumping over there? We're down 0.58%. I think by these lows it would be down like 0.60%. So if it's a trending day, you know, it's still okay, so that's gonna break above. Let's see how that's gonna break above. If it's a trending day, then for sure we still have a lot more downside. It's going up, you think? Yeah. I think so too. It's at the bottom of the consolidation. Consolidation. I was just kind of hoping maybe something interesting would happen. Like a little fakey there. Be nice if we were to pull back actually. Like pull up first and then create a setup. I'm not good at shorting gold, so I stay away. You know, then if you're gonna take a short, you know what you're gonna do if you're not good at shorting gold? Come over here on your bottom right hand side and then invert the scale. So now you can have a buy, but you know it's gonna be a short. Just invert the scale like this. If you're not good at shorting gold. Kind of the same for me. My eyes are much more attracted to buys. Because you know the thing with the shorts, man, shorts move. You gotta be a short player. Shorts move. Shorts are the ones which give you like those really buttery trades. Shorts are a lot more buttery than longs are. So yeah, you gotta get good. You gotta get good at looking at shorts too, man. But I get it as well. I'm more leaning towards the short direction than buys. Over the years, I've trained myself to see both, but naturally, I like to see the shorts better. I don't know, something about shorts that's easier to see because I guess it's like coming down, right? It's like moving like this and it's falling easier. Longs are pretty nice as well. Like I guess you get a lot of confidence from longs too. It's definitely a different feeling. You see, the thing about shorts is they're a little bit more mischievous. I feel like bearish markets, like sellers in the market, they're a bit more mischievous, right? But the buyers kind of give you more of like a stability feeling. Whereas the sellers, sellers like play out pretty fast. They can be quite tricky sometimes. Well, that's the way I feel about it. Like yesterday, for example, longs, man, yesterday's longs felt very like confident and, you know, with conviction, and price was moving up. Felt solid, stable. But the beautiful thing about shorts is you get stuck in properly, you get that waterfall. That waterfall feels really nice. See, like right here, little break of structure, and then trading below that 8 SMA. And look at the way it just melted. It's completely melted there. But also, when it comes to like buying or selling at the bottom or tops of ranges, so if market's moving sideways, I actually feel more comfortable selling as a breakout on the lows than I do as a breakout on the buys. For some reason, I feel like the buy breakouts in like a big range usually are prone to pulling back, whereas the sell breakouts are the ones which are kind of like liquidity grab-esque. They're like going for like those stop losses below like that support level, whereas the buyers just feel like they're just trying to fake out more buyers. If I were to put a characteristic on buying and selling, I feel like the sellers are a little bit more intelligent than the buyers are. They're like little mischievous devils. All right, let's see what's going on here. What the hell? This thing is just bleeding. Would be nice to get a new 5-minute candlestick open. Let's see. Are we going to dump it? Just already tried pulling up there a few times. There's a little tricky thing over here, but there was no setup when it was doing this. It hit the bottom of the range, it pulled up, broke these lows, and then pulled up. Now it's trying to come down again. See how that hourly looks? Oof, hourly's already pushed here quite nice. I don't know how I feel about this. I think I would rather wait. I'd rather like watch it. I think for now I'd rather watch it break and then see, because it's pretty wide area here. I think I'd rather watch it break. Maybe it's gonna pull up, set, and then set the actual break. Advice for me being in a losing streak? Well, that's just a lesson streak right there, sir. Just a shift of mindset. That's a lesson streak. So you should be learning quite a lot right now. You should see and look at your trades. You got to review your trades. Review your trades and see like what's going on. You know, are you following your rules? Is that losing streak part of your strategy? If it's part of your strategy, then good. You're getting data, right? If it's not part of your strategy and it's a psychological issue, then now you have some kind of a character development to build. Maybe it's taking less trades or, you know, spreading out your risk. Like maybe one trade this session, another trade, another session. Now you got to experiment with that. Because if you come onto the chart and you're only on the chart for, let's say, like 1 or 2 hours, at least you have more patience. You know you're trading from here to here. Right? But if you don't have like a schedule, then it's gonna feel a bit weird just showing up and then becoming like a slave to the market. You know, you should always have like a clock in and clock out. And if you have one trade, that's it, clock out. That's how you actually stop the losing streaks. It's just by diversifying the times that you're trading. Because, man, if you're going to find a losing streak in, like, most sessions, then it's just, like, it happens, but it's a less probability. Like, for example, right now, gold could just decide to start faking people out and not even pay anybody. So you might not even see any distributions and you might see price action like this. So if you take an L here, then you move over to the next session, by that time, it should be opened up. How some people make money every single day? I haven't had a losing day in the last 4 months. Well, what does that mean? If you haven't had a losing day in the last 4 months, why are you surprised how people make money every single day? I think NFP will be expected. If you flip your trading view, don't forget to put the right trade in the broker. Yeah, that's a little mind. It messes with your head, eh? You're gonna end up taking a buy. Then you see yourself in profit and you're like, what's going on here? Why am I in drawdown? Tetra, I hope PSL becomes my TP someday. Well, don't know what to say about that. That invert tip is very useful. I used that recently to make it easier. Nice. Yeah, it's really good. Alright, so like price is shooting up here. Shooting up here because it's at the bottom. Remember, it's at the bottom of the range, chat. It's bottom of the range. I feel like this is where we're actually going to play. You know, any sells I think you even got, like if you got even a sell over here, it would be like a liquidity grab. I think if we got profits on that, it would be a liquidity grab profit. So we might get like 20 pips out of it, but it's probably just going to leave a bottom wick and then flip up. What's your expectancy in terms of R multiple? According to my calculations, in terms of the R multiple, and when you carry the Y over the X, then I think the multiplier should equate to something positive. I'm still in a trade, waiting for it to pull back up. Yeah, me too. I think I'll wait for it to pull up like this, and then maybe take it down again. So we're gonna wait and see. We already missed the first trade, or I did at least. It's breaking out this one little buy situation that's currently happening here. It's the same kind of zone I was looking At. Yeah, same zone I was looking at over here. Looks like it is shooting upwards a little bit, so... But the trend is still bearish, so remember, like, keep tabs of the daily bias. Daily bias here is still towards the downside. It's already 100 pips. What's 100? Oh, your trade? A lot of people fade a lot of opportunities because they get scared when they see some red. Yeah, they see some red, you know. So another nice trick today. We're sharing a lot of tricks. Obviously, you know, you might know some of these tricks, you might not know. But also turning off your colors helps. Like this very basic trick, you probably heard it before. Maybe tired of hearing it, but it is there. It is an option that you can use. Oh, it looks like a little gray over here. Did I put the right color? Oh yeah, I did. Oh, okay, not really, but that kind of looks cool. But anyway, yeah, you see, when you're gonna look like this, it kind of also helps read the structure a little bit, right? You can kind of see the structure a little bit. Low-key want to start using white. Maybe like make the cell a bit gray. A little bit gray. It's still not color there. You see, just focusing on structure at this point. Nothing else. No emotions. Which is like quite nice. Because you see now when we put this on, let's go back to the other one. Get a lot more emotional about the trades. Got that casino effect. Walk into a casino, you got all those flashing lights. Especially those of you who have all of your watch list open over here. You got these flashing lights on the right hand side. Just seeing numbers and lights. Look like when you're turning on a computer back in the 90s or something, you know? It makes that noise like There's so much data over here going through. Then you got your volume profiles and all that garbage. Indicators. Yeah, but let's see. We're getting the pull up now, so maybe like pulls up and then get a short at the highs. Another short over here if we can set up something interesting. Push up like this, boom, 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 and then see if we can come down. Yeah, it's like OG internet. Imagine back in the days people gotta trade like that. You gotta like open your trading view and takes, if there was even like a trading view, probably not. Takes you like a good 5 minutes. 5 minutes to open it up as you wait for a 1 minute trade. Trade setting up and you still gotta wait for things to load. And you like change the time frame and it takes like a whole 2 minutes. Change the time frame. Yeah, good times, good times. I think what people used to use maybe it was like Yahoo Finance or something, you know. I think Yahoo Finance have some charts on there. I remember always seeing charts or something to do with the market. You know, like when you open the computer, it takes you to like Yahoo. Sometimes you're gonna see like the stock market and some charts over there. My first modem was a 28.8K with AOL. See, back in the day, the damn internet had to go off to use the phone. Oh yeah, man, like it didn't have fiber optics, right? It was all like modems and stuff, like those you put your SIM card in or something. Plug it into the computer. I don't know, internet was like expensive back in the days, you know, like not everybody had internet, I feel. I was used to go to like cafes to use the internet. My grandpa was a stockbroker in New York. He helped with trading a lot. Oh, nice. So what kind of tips would you give us over here today? What does your grandpa tell you? You know, because on stream we say don't over risk and don't over trade. For example, you know, stick to like 1 or 3 trades a day, and obviously those are the only 2 ways you actually fail in trading. Landline telephone connections. Now it was like pretty nice though, because you choose what to watch and you'd appreciate what you would watch. So I'd have like a flash disk of like songs and funny commercials, because commercials used to be so funny back in the day. Nowadays, you know, we got a lot of snowflakes, so those same commercials would not survive today. But you just have a flash disk of these like commercials and music videos and a bunch of random stuff. But you'd appreciate it more, I guess, and like felt a bit more stable. Then being on the internet now, you have so much to watch that there's nothing to watch. It's like Netflix. Netflix has so much but nothing. Like literally. Isn't it crazy? Like, how do you have so much of a catalog but nothing to watch? It's called the bought Warner Brothers, right? Warner Bros recently, so I have some more stuff. I don't know if y'all have seen that. It's one of the funniest ads. I don't know if you watch this condom ad. Imagine an ad like this today. Use condoms. Oh man, that's so good. The Last Samurai standing on Netflix. That's worth watching. Nice, nice. I want to watch what is it called? Chainsaw Man. I recently like download Chainsaw Man the movie. Looks good. I really enjoyed the anime, the series. Or what do you call it? Just anime, yep. Alright chat, so we got another situation here happening. But we're gonna need to see like some kind of a support being formed. Let's see, just came back to entries right now. See if we can get something for our pain. You know, so many moves have been playing out today. Like literally, like all the console breakouts have just been playing out. Yeah, all the console breakouts have been playing out so far. So you can get like a support to be formed. Then look for a sell. So let's get our magic wand or magic tool over here. Let's draw the future again. So this is what I'm expecting to happen. This time we might not see a fake out. We might just see that happen like this, and that becomes a right shoulder. So we're gonna have here as a left shoulder, head, and then right shoulder, and then price to dump and follow through to the downside. So that's what I'm expecting. So we got 3 seconds, 1 second. All right, we just got a new 5-minute candle open. See, it creates that top way. I mean, it's got to create a support there. It would be nice if it also creates like a strong support too. Like if the support could come all the way up over here as well, but not create a new higher high. Kind of respect that zone, and then do this. right? But if we end up getting a fake out situation confluence thing, then, you know, that's also not too bad. But let's see what happens. That's breaking above the high. Or like testing that that area over there. You see how it's struggling? You see selling pressure coming back in? Because we're literally back at our entries, chat. Like, this is where the entries were. See if we can get a confirmation. But man, look, it's flipping again. It needs to close bullish. We got clean range on the 5-minute as well for it to come down. You see, clean range. Got that 5-minute SMA as well in our confluence. I'm going to wait for price to break these lows here at this point. See if it's going to be a sneaky one today. If it can break properly. Alright, chat, I'm in. Let's see if we can get the sell-off. Got a nice little, kind of like liquidity grab-esque type of thing that happened on that top wick. Oh, come on, Goldie. It's not a good sign. Yeah, looks like it's liquidity grabbing the lows. There too, it might be chop. Come on, if that 1-minute SMA could hold, that would be good. 1-minute SMA, let's see if it can hold it. It might be chopped because now we got 2 wicks, which are formed on those 1-minute candles. So 2 wicks I'm talking about right here. We gotta get through. Or like 2 minutes for the 5-minute candle closure. That 1-minute SMA is still kind of holding, giving it a small little kiss of death. So you can entice some more sellers in here. Oh, come on, Goldie. Stop struggling. Damn, it's so volatile in this spot right here. Holy, what the hell is going on? It will come down. Dude, I just opened with a gap. It just opened on my brokerage with a gap over there. Damn, why is it behaving like this? Sheesh, what is going on here? We just got entries. It's a battle between the buyers and the sellers right now. We're in a pretty high confluence zone. Holy. Still bearish order flow. I see red candles buy absorption. We are good. Man, this is this is not what we want to see though. Come on. I literally got a gap to the upside on my broker. Distribute dump. Come on, dump it. Come on, sellers, you got this. Get through those wicks. All right, guys, I'm putting my stop loss to break even here. Stop loss at BE. Come on now. Run, Goldie. So you get TP hit. Let's go, boys. TP has been smashed. Spartans! To the front of the line. That was wild. Dude, the market was literally trying to shake us out. That's all it was trying to do. It was just trying to shake us out. That's all that it was trying to do, Chad. It was just trying to shake us out. Because the confirmation was there. Confirmation was there. So once it triggered confirmation, now it just plays psychology games. Dubs in the chat. Dubs in the chat. Crazy trade that was. But we got it, chat. You see, you don't really ever miss a move, right? Like, you know, we came onto stream and, you know, first our trade was this trade idea here. Beautiful trade idea this was, you know, played out amazing. But problem was it happened too quick, right? And they said, okay, let's wait for price to retrace. Give us a signal. Look at this. Look at the difference in the distance of entries. This is only about like 11, 12 pips, right? You never really miss a move. Just be patient. The market pays you to wait. You get paid to wait. Beautiful. You know, now price can maybe start to run down a little bit more here. You have a range of 70 pips down towards that support area right over there. Got a 70 pip range. Amazing. Congratulations, everybody. You caught this trade. First trade was stress-free. Second trade was definitely something that, you know, kind of build your character over here. Very nice. Awesome. Let's see if I can get to 30% this month. I'm up 18.99%. Let's see if we can get to 30% at least. The thing is, we're waiting for like a buy, you know, like a very strong buy confirmation so I could get like a runner. Yeah, I mean, like, that's what I mean. Like, they're all playing out. All the console plays are playing out today. This was a tricky one because we're getting to the tail end of them playing out, you know? Because these other ones have been playing out like, we got one here. Basically, these are the ones. You got one here. You got one here. You got one here. You got another one here. You got one down there too. Right? They've all been playing out like pretty decently. Like very smooth, in fact. Like very little drawdown. But as we're getting towards the tail end of them, obviously one of them has got to fail eventually, right? So I think this was the one where I was like trying to shake people out. That's why we got that reaction, because it's happening back to back. So market this time was like, nah, we got to try and shake them out. Then sellers are like, hell no. Bring that thing down, sir. Dump it. One more, dump it. I think the next one might be the losing one though. Sui. Let's go, boys. Sui. Vic, what do you think gold does for news today? I don't know. Did I have my stops at 16? No, we just did 2020. 20 pip stop, 20 pip TP. Two big wicks to fill on the 4-hour chart. Yeah, just some light, just a light trade. Just something light. Some little light, 300 bucks. If you trade a prop firm, 18% on a 1 million account. Oh, yeah, I mean, they're not going to pay me anything. Prop firms don't like me. I can't trade on a prop firm, man. Prop firm they're gonna not pay me out. Prop firm is only for the people who, you know, are just kind of getting started over there. But if I go to a prop firm, man, they're gonna be bringing me problems. There's no longevity with prop firms. It's only good to get you started. Unless I start affiliate, you know what they're gonna say? They're gonna say, hey, Vic, man, you know, we can't have you on this prop firm for obvious reasons, but we can do affiliate marketing. How about that? They say, oh no, you know, we can't pay you like this, but we can pay you affiliate marketing. Want to do that? That's why some of the guys you watch, these guys who are like super funded by prop firms, they're also affiliated with them, right? They're affiliated with them. Like, oh man, can't pay you, but like we can do affiliation. Then they're gonna make it seem like, oh, this guy is the most paid guy in the prop firm industry. Oh, he's so good. They're gonna simulate withdrawals for him, like J Capital, I think that's his name. I'm not sure. But they simulate withdrawals for him, simulate results for him. They're gonna say, oh, this guy's great, man. Come to our prop firm. It's an amazing prop firm. So that's the only way I see actually making money on a prop firm, like for longevity. Do you trade any other sessions with your paying customers? That's not important, man. That's not important. You need knowledge, sir. You need education. And there's a plethora of education on the WOP database that we have. We got labeled charts. We got simulations, literal simulations where you can see how the account can grow. You know, then we have a 4-day bootcamp of just the entry models themselves. And it's always an add-on thing. So we're always adding on to the course as well. I send my trades, I send my entries as well. So, you know, you can always come and see, all right, so, you know, we had a sell today. You're going to see, all right, so we got a sell over here. Let's see, okay, you took this sell idea. Okay, let's see his entry over here. So you get entry over here. Now, let me go cross-reference with what we're learning here in the database and then see if I can see what he's seeing. And, you know, that's that learning process. So you're getting the signals, and also you can use those as references on a day-to-day basis to improve what you're learning in the WOP database. And we also got a mentorship group on Discord where you can send in your charts if you got any questions. You need knowledge. But yeah, so we got free YT knowledge here is also pretty good, you know. Free YT. The database will give you closure on what you think that you don't know. Basically, that's what the whole idea is behind a joining. There might be something in there you're missing out on. And you know, sometimes people just need a commitment. I'm not saying this to be salesy, but some people feel that the more commitment they have, like a financial commitment, it pushes them as well to go through the data. You know, that's what I also experienced myself. During my first 6 months of trading, it took me like half a year to commit. And then I said, okay, you know, I'm going to go on Google. I can Google this and download this course. As I always mentioned, he was a popular guy. I could get it for free. I'm not that popular, so you're not going to get it for free. But he was super popular. So I was like, man, if I download this for free, I'm not going to be committed, you know? So I ended up spending my first $300 on a course. And let me tell you, I read that course like it was the Bible. I went through it in and out. I watched everything, and then I completely exhausted it. And you know, up till this day, I still use a few tricks and tips from it. That's the whole idea behind commitment, you know? Because they say free is garbage. When you get stuff for free, you don't put any work into it, right? You don't really enjoy it as much too. All I'm asking for is a commitment of 100%. See if I can find that clip. Yeah, that'd actually be a hard clip to find. Sen Gordon Ramsay said that. All I'm asking for is a commitment of 100%. You donkey! What are you? Man, Gordon would be a pretty good motivational trader. What are you? This is what some of you need, you know? You're going to take this one trade, and then you're going to take the next trade, and then you're going to lose the next trade, so you need a mentor like this. What are you? If you have a profitable day today, man, call it a day. Don't be an idiot sandwich. Don't be an idiot sandwich. I am more king of swing trader, trying to learn day trading. Oh, nice. Can we see Goldie to close above 4,300? Let's see. Yeah, 4,300. 4,300 today. Would need a strong pullback. We could get the pullback because we have a lot of news today. We got NFP, we got like a bunch of red folders. So yeah, we could actually see this become a bottom wick. That could be, and that could end up being a liquidity grab right over here on the daily to reflip above 4,300. What are you? Hey, what's up, Wolf? Ragnar, today I'm late. Welcome, welcome. Prop hum can be good for building risk management. Yeah, that's what they tell you, you know. That's what they say. It's good for risk management, bro. You gotta learn how to stay within my parameters. Come on now. You need whips. You need whips, sir. Where are my whips? That's a cop out. You're copping out. You're copping out. It's like those people who gotta, like, you know, use the apps to close their monitor for them. And then they say, oh, we gotta put it in a safe now. Gotta hide trading view. Gotta hide C trader now. Man, where's the control? Where's your discipline? What kind of behavior is this? That you need these extra clutches. You know, those are like clutches. Those are clutches. If you have a problem, man, you gotta tackle that problem straight on. You know, if it's a problem with discipline, you have to tackle that problem with discipline. Because in the real world, you're not gonna have an exit button. In the real world, you're not gonna have something to, you know, kind of close you out of making bad mistakes. So you gotta like already forge that character, because it's gonna be a problem in other areas in your life. It's not just going to be in trading. You can have awesome risk management. Man, I started with a $500 account and I never blew that account. You know, all I had to do was manage my risk. That's all I had to do was risk maybe, 1%. And I realized at some point I was losing a lot. So I just started risking 0.5%. And this was all discipline because I didn't want to lose that money, right? I didn't want to lose that money. So you got to find that within. That's within you. That's not within anybody else giving you rules. Actually, if anything, those rules are a hindrance. They're the ones slowing you down in prop firms. That's why they tell you these things. They tell you to make you feel good because it's like comfort food. But in reality, it's actually those rules are what's slowing you down. You know? It gives them like a slight edge, if we're being entirely honest. So you got to be disciplined on your own accord. If you can't be disciplined on your own accord, then I can trust you to run a business. How can anybody trust you to run a business? Because essentially that's what you're doing here. I'd be afraid. Imagine if your boss needed an app to lock him out of being a dumbass. How would you feel working for a guy like that? You'd probably think, man, this guy is not stable. He has no discipline. You know, maybe one day that thing doesn't lock him out, then what? Okay, Vic got his sell. Now price can turn and hit my TP at the end of the day. Yeah, it's coming towards the tail end of these sells. You can see the momentum is starting to build for the buyers. We also got a inverted head and shoulders here. Left shoulder here, right shoulder. Price is trying to shoot up. But it's still stuck within this overall range. It's still a sideways movement. Let's see what it cooks up now. Let's see what the next thing's gonna be. Where is your discipline? Have you guys seen this thing called looks maxing? You know what you're doing? You're looks maxing, but for trading. Right? If you know what looks maxing is, it's basically people who don't want to put the work in, but they want to have muscles. They want to have, it's basically looks maxing. You're maxing whatever it is that you do. So if it's muscles, you're looking to see what's the easiest way for me to get muscles, right? You're maxing the process. So those guys do like steroids. Looks maxing for like skincare. They do the most extreme things and they look at their facial features and they basically try and max everything out. But they do it. The whole idea is not to put any work in. It's just to have all that muscles and looks, but without actually putting any work in. You're looks maxing for your trading. That's what you're doing. It's not a good idea. Sometimes you got to have a bit of grit, you know. Sometimes you just have to do it the hard way because the hard way is going to last, right? The hard way lasts. The hard way is the way it goes. If you look at any superhero movie, the guy struggles for most of his life, right? It's only towards the end of the movie that things get a bit easier for him. Look at Batman, look at Superman, look at their storylines. You know, it's all just towards the end, but you got to go through all the hardship first. That's what builds your character. ATH this week? Yes, sir. I love December so far. December has been an awesome month so far. Everybody, some people on holiday right now lying to themselves, giving themselves comfort food. Oh, it's December, you know, low volume in December time. Just, you know, that's all just like comfort food. But we're here on the charts and the charts are moving. Charts are moving. We're down like, what did we peak at? 0.60% today on the daily. So far, so good. I think the whole week we're going to have volume. Especially, you know, we got red folders today. Then we have, for the rest of the week, we can ride on that red folder volume for the rest of the week. Up to like Friday. Because we still got some news events on Thursday and Friday. And then now we have Christmas week over here. On Christmas week, we have Monday open. We have again ADP. What the hell is this? ADP? Next week, Tuesday, how we got like ADP twice? We got two times ADP this month. Insane. Yeah, so Monday should be good. Tuesday should be good. Bank holiday is starting to roll in from next week, Wednesday, but that's for Euro, NZD, and AUD. Let's see, Thursday. Well, what bank holiday is this? Oh, this is... Oh, Christmas Day over there. I thought Christmas Day was 25th. Oh, okay. So yeah, from the 24th then for sure, that's probably going to be low volume. It's probably going to be choppy. But why isn't all registering dollar as a bank holiday there? It's registering. It's on the 25th, right? Christmas? It is. Yeah, it is on the 25th. I think that's because that's in New Zealand, maybe. Oh, in Australia, that's... Yeah, I think it's different timings or something like that. In Europe, it's the 24th. Ah, yeah, Europe 24th. But the USD bank holiday, that's the one that we actually really care more about here for gold. That's going to be on the 25th. That's also when I think IC Market said like might have basically no volume. So yeah, so far I think up until the 25th should be good. Well, we'll see. We shall see. We got plenty of time over here. I notice you sometimes have lower risk in London session. Is there a reason why? Yeah, I'm just keeping my money, you know. I'm just keeping what I made. Because in reality, I don't need to take another trade. I don't need to. Because my goal daily is like, you know, 2%. But it's still pretty much the same idea. Same concepts. It's just like the only thing is we just reduce risk. That's all. So if I win... I can add on to my winning day, and if I lose, I can manage my risk efficiently. Because you know, sometimes you guys struggling with keeping what you make, so you have a winning trade during one session, and then the next session you're giving it all back plus more. It says you should see how can I have a winning session, and then in the next session, how can I add on to that? You know, only to add on to it. Yeah, but you could, if you want, you could use the same risk as well. It's really up to you. Because sometimes you can use the same risk, but the market will give you an opportunity to, you know, manage your risk by like 50%, get a nice little risk management model. But you also have to see in terms of reality, right? Is like, how much do you need reality-wise on a day-to-day basis to have a living from trading? It's not always just trying to looks-max the markets, you know? You're not trying to looks-max markets. You're just trying to operate in a way that you can actually have this be a consistent income for you. And why I feel like indices and cryptos will pump hard today during news and metals will drop hard. I got a feeling... that tonight's gonna be a good night. Vic, I remember you only trade the shotgun. Trading shotgun playing on 5 minute. What is the reason you change between 5 minute shotgun and 1 minute console plays? Just curious so I can backtest properly. Oh, you gotta let your enemies never see you coming. That's why. You can't be always so predictable because, you know, sometimes it works like very nice. But we've been doing consolidation and shotgun. I don't know when was the last time you watched the stream, but this whole year we've been doing consolidation and shotgun. We even did, at some point we even had a streak of just swing entry models and consolidation. We're just doing swing entries. Swing entry, like swing entry in quotation, and consolidation. So I think the last time you watched me must have been like... When? I don't know. Last year? Or? Oh, did we do shotguns in the... Oh, okay. I think we got shotguns during the London session in the beginning, right? In January. January, February, March. But consolidations have always been there. It's just... Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. I can't really see unless I go on the timings and really like go through it properly. But the idea is, if you see something happening over and over again, you're just kind of taking advantage of that situation, right? And then when it stops working, then you want to also kind of like navigate a bit differently. So for the most part, especially since we're really locked in on August on the consolidation breakouts on August, and we saw those were playing out really, really nice. So we just stuck with those. But every now and then I catch like a market fade or a shotgun entry. Some of these trades that I take are actually shotguns, but I also just put as consolidation because it was both happening at the same time. That's also another thing to consider. Let's see if we had one here. No. We haven't had one yet. Got it. So you look at the market movement and the results? Yes. So you always want to have like a playbook of different setups you're taking. And that's basically your what you got up your sleeve, right? Your different entry models. Because sometimes you're gonna see different. Sometimes I'm also waiting for a consolidation break, but then I see a shotgun entry, for example. Then I just take the shotgun based on the shot, especially if it's like a very good market structure in a sense. Then I just shift over shotgun entry. But you always want to be focusing on at least two, right? Because if you're focusing on too many, then you end up missing out on some details. Just the same way if you're going to have like too many charts open. Oh, it looks like you got to pay for more trading view. But if you got like too many charts like this, and you're looking at gold here, you're looking at GJ here, you're not good at both. You're actually worse at both, right? It's like texting and driving. You're not good at either one. You're not good at texting and you're not good at driving. So, and the more you have that, the more messed up, like especially if you're a day trader and a scalper, like the way we trade, it's gonna like mess you up, especially if you're trading from the 5-minute and below. So it's always a good idea to focus on, in terms of entries, 1 or 2, but in terms of instruments, it will help you a lot with stress to focus on just 1. I used to focus on 2. Over the years, you build capacity to do more. But it's definitely still something to consider. Like if you go on Wall Street and you see this guy's trade, they got like, what, 30 guys looking at 30 instruments all at once with all those screens. But you know, it's very stressful. A lot of correlations, and it's a different type of trading for sure. But it's a lot of analysis paralysis too. Yes, because consolidation is too tight a sell in some cases. I like a 16 pip or a 20 pip. I don't like big SLs because, you know, big SLs, like it doesn't fit the model, because you see, these are the moves. These are the moves people make a lot of money from these moves. You see, this is a big SL move. Now you're stuck in consolidation because you maybe got like a huge SL, right? You have a big SL, now you're stuck in consolidation. But I like these little moves here, like pushed out from entries here about like 30 pips, little 30 pip banger. Bigger the SL, more opportunity you give the market to come back to you and then retest you and maybe even start going against you. Because that's why I realized, like, a lot of the time I would have a big SL, price would go in my direction, but would always come back later to hit my stop loss. So I had to see, how can I reduce my stop loss? Correct? How can we reduce stop loss so we can secure something? Because it pays, the market pays in phases too. This scalper phase here, and then maybe it's gonna pay out the higher time frame phase. And also, like, you gotta think of people who do like hyper scalping. They have a much better advantage than we do, institutions, because they got tighter spreads and stuff. But they're gonna make like so much money even trading the seconds chart, you know. Or maybe have some robots which help them, but they can trade the seconds chart, man. Like, we looked at the seconds chart one time and it actually plays the way it plays. You can see the head and shoulders, you can see accumulation breakouts, like you can actually see those movements, right? And then we also got ticks. Man, I think you can even go lower than seconds. Now you're looking at ticks too, which is insane. And people make millions of dollars trading the seconds chart. You know, so the market knows this. So it has to balance everybody out, you know. You can't let a guy on a seconds chart with an insane risk reward just because it has to play out your swing entry. It's going to do it in phases. It's going to pay out first, it's going to retest, then it's going to pay out. Then that's why the market moves the way it does, right? That's why it moves like this. because it's not here to make you rich. It's here to facilitate some kind of sustainable movement, you know. Yeah, so you're never gonna see a position stay in profit forever. Like look at this one, shot like 100 pips, but it needs to come back up to retest the previous sellers because that's where the entry confirmation was. Correct. So it came back. You see how it even consolidated right at that entry? It consolidated right at this entry over here. It came back to see like, hey, you know, who are these guys? Like who got in over here? It accumulated a little bit more. We had what we call the auction house. There's an auction house over here. So it came back to the previous entries to see if there were still willing sellers in the market. And you see that's why you had crazy fluctuation over there. Insane market psychology that was. And then price eventually started tumbling down again. But insane market psychology this was. I think like the break, if you hadn't gotten initially, the second break was the cleanest one right over here. So let's say for whatever reason you hadn't gotten in initially, you kind of avoid a lot of the choppiness. And then that would be the second break. This would have been the break right there. It would have been a lot more stress-free. Actually what we wanted to get. But we got caught in a bit of a chop. So yeah, like I think psychology is super important. Don't underrate psychology. Don't let people tell you, oh, psychology is overrated. Man, psychology is everything. Because once you have a strategy, you still have to have a good psychology to actually understand what's going on. Right? That's why when people tell me like, oh, can you teach me trading? Man, I would rather not even teach them. Like, you know, just on a day-to-day basis. Like, oh, your friends are going to say, oh, Vic, can you teach me how to trade? Man, I'd rather not. Because to be honest, like now when we start getting into these things, it's almost like gibberish at that point. You know, you can't just teach someone to trade just right off the bat like that. People need time, you know, they need time. They got to go through that process of reading candlesticks, understanding the autonomy of a candlestick, and all of that stuff. Because I think like even if you explain to someone this is a consolidation, they wouldn't understand what you mean. What's your view on Raja Bank? I don't have any view about him, but he's definitely an OG. He's you know, they say respect your elders, so whether I like him or not, I kind of have to respect him as an elder. No, Raja's an old man now. He's pushing his 40s. I used to really look up to him as well back in the days. And definitely he is a GOAT. He's a GOAT in his own regard, right? Because you got to think of the guy, right? The guy is the godfather of live streams. Like he's literally the one, I think, who started live stream trading. You know? Because when I was learning, I don't remember watching anybody else but him. I'm learning and backtesting breakout strategies, and I kind of like it. Nice. Yeah, you know, here's a guy who's like, who got me interested in managing risk. That's what I'm gonna say. Because everybody else is always talking about profits, risk to reward this, risk to reward that, and you know, flipping accounts. Like he was one of the few people who was just looking at how can you lose less, and that got me interested. You know. And through that, I started realizing for myself, there's a way the market operates when it's a losing trade and when it's a winning trade. Then I started looking at that and saying, okay, so how can I replicate my winning trades and lose less on my losing trades? You know, so I think it's really good, important. It's an important psychological development you need. You can't just be watching like Mamba FX, right? You can't just be watching those types of videos. That's like brain rot, basically. My teachers were you, Donvu, and trade lines, but now I'm just here for vibes. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, Donvu. I don't get Donvu's analysis though. I don't get his analysis, the le candle and all that stuff. But apparently he breaks it down quite nicely. I try to keep my analysis simple over here. It's nothing too impressive. I just keep it as simple as possible because there's only one direction where there's only two directions we're either gonna be heading, up or down. So that's it for me. Time to Trading is another decent guy in the space. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep. He's also cut from the same cloth as Roger Banks. You know, but these people in real life, I don't know how they are in real life. I don't know how they are. And I wouldn't actually trust many of them in real life. A lot of these traders. Because I've been around the space for a long time to know that those friendships are usually not really what they seem to be. There's always some kind of a drama which unfolds, and it gets me thinking, what's going on over here? You know, there's people, you can't really trust people that much. It's very hard to trust people, very difficult. My teachers are Bruce Lee and me. Amazing. Yeah, it's a shame that Bruce Lee died because of what did he die of again? Was it like cancer or something? That was shame. How did Bruce Lee die? Bruce Lee died at the age of cerebral edema, brain swelling. Yeah, I remember it's like a weird thing. Like, I would never imagine Bruce Lee dying because of brain swelling. I just thought maybe he'd die from being too awesome. He got brain swelling. This is for a back injury. Though theorists persist about hyponatremia, low sodium from excessive water intake. Oh, you became the water, my friend. He was water as a contributing factor. Damn, Bruce. You really lived that life. He collapsed at a friend's apartment in Hong Kong, and doctors couldn't revive him, leading to death. Yeah, it's really sad over here. You know, like Jackie Chan? Jackie Chan was the guy who was supposed to replace Bruce Lee. Jackie Chan, because he's also from Hong Kong, you know? But like the thing with Jackie is about like they couldn't accept him like a Bruce Lee so much. And the numbers were not doing that well as well. Because obviously you can't have two Bruce Lees. So they said, okay, you know, let me just be Jackie Chan. And now he started doing like comedy. Like then he started doing his own kind of like fighting, which is kind of like a little bit more comedy. They used a lot more of these tools. You see how they're using like tennis rackets. He would use like a chair, for example. But that was not the scene back in those days. The scene would be more of like traditional Bruce Lee type of fighting. So that's what Jackie brought into the space. And then, you know, we kind of accepted him. Also an OG. His son actually went to jail, unfortunately. Son's a criminal. Jackie, remember that cartoon that used to be back in the days with the tablets where Jackie and the girl and the big sumo wrestling guy, and they had these tablets? W cartoon. Adventures. I think it was called Adventures of Jackie or something like that. Yeah, the talismans. That's pretty sick. I think it was a game as well. It was ayahuasca he drank. Oh. I've never heard anyone die on ayahuasca. Exactly, we can't overcomplicate it. Nice setup. Yeah, thank you. Bruce Lee died, his wife poisoned him. Oh. Oh, Jet Li. Oh, Jet Li is another guy. Jet Li is the guy from that multi-universe movie, right? Yeah, Jet Li. Dude, Jet Li, this is the first time I ever heard about a multiverse. Was this movie over here, the one. The one Jet Li. You know, the whole idea behind this movie was if he was to kill the versions of him in every multiverse, he gets stronger. Right? So every time he killed himself in a different... Oh, he got also this guy in here. I keep forgetting his name. Jason Statham, I think his name is. Bro, but this movie was so good. And then in the end, it was just him and one other of him. So he killed every one of him in all multiverses except one other guy. So the power was split between them. 50-50. And this one guy was good and then one guy was bad. I used to watch this movie on my PSP. I had the CD for it. Yeah, I watched this movie so many times. Yeah, Jet Li is definitely a GOAT too. You watch that one, Woods? Jason Statham. Vic, what are you doing if you bump into yourself one day? He'll that version of myself would need to go down Jet Li style. Maybe get some more energy from him. That's a wild concept though. Is it like really far-fetched? Would it be far-fetched? Because, you know, the idea is like everything is entangled, right? Like everything in the universe is entangled. Especially in a lot of like Chinese culture. They believe in entanglement. Let's see. Like the carton, we have a magical stone here. Like consolidation breakout and shotgun to have them, Vic. You've seen all his movies, even the really old ones from before he was worldwide. All right. Sick. So Jet Li, let's put a poll over here. Let's put a poll. Let's start a poll. And I wish you could do 2 polls. Who will win in a fight? Jet Li, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan. Alright, leave your votes, chat. Leave your votes. Who would win in a fight? If they all fought together, who would win that fight? Who would be the last man standing? Imagine that, eh? Damn, so far Bruce got it. Are weapons allowed? Good question. I mean, they don't really use weapons, right? They don't really use weapons. Like Jet Li, I don't think I saw him use much of weapons. Bruce Lee, not really. No, I don't think weapons. Let's just go traditional. Traditional fight to the death. Do you trade NY session? No, I trade pre-NY. Now it's consolidation. Let's see if this consolidation breakout plays out. There's one right over here too. It's got like a little inverted head and shoulders. Needs to either break above that high. It needs to break this high though with volume, so it can distribute. But man, it's played out so many. One of them is bound to fail, right? But right now it's got even a bigger head and shoulders confluence, which is from this area, left shoulder, hair, right shoulder, and then it's setting up right now, getting ready to break those highs. It's got a fractal head and shoulders. You got this one, and then you got this minor one right over here. So it's getting ready. Nunchaku of nunchucks. Would weapons really make that big of a difference? Honestly. If weapons, Jet Li takes the other two together. I mean, it's just eventually gonna disarm the guy, right? That's how all those weapon fights go. They gotta use a weapon for a bit, then eventually the weapon gets lost or something. Yeah, disarm the guy. Because that's a fight that's going to last. It wouldn't just be like a weapon and then it's gonna end quickly, right? Definitely these guys have to have a fighting chance to disarm him. If a trio between all of them, even if Jet Li had a weapon, eventually Bruce or Jackie would take the weapon from him. Or it'd get kicked off his hand or something. Done lunch and ordered. Got some pips for lunch. So Woods, when you play the what do you call it, the samurai games, because I know you also play the Ghost of Tsushima and then the new one, the Ghost of Yote. Do you play it with the gray old style, or do you play with color? That'll be the OG way to play it, I guess. The black and white. Alright, so it looks like it didn't break the highs. It's still respecting the highs over here. Color, to be honest. Color, but in Japanese. Yeah, I gotta have it in Japanese. That's true. Me too. I just do color in Japanese. Yeah, it's eventually it did end up breaking the lows, but this is not a very nice break because this was actually supposed to break the highs. I think on a setup like that, you could take it, but it would be much nicer if there was some kind of like a support that was formed here first before the break. Something similar like what we had previously. Alright, so it looks like Bruce Lee wins this one, guys. Thank you for your votes. Not everybody here voted. Like 62%. First playthrough, I'm just playing normal with the hard difficulty. The second playthrough, I'll play with the grayscale and hard difficulty. The first time is for the story. The second time is to master. Oh, nice. Yeah, you know, grayscale is like white candlestick bodies like this. Now you're going to master, right? You master it. That's the same way. Because at some point in your trading journey, you have to turn the colors off. If you turn the colors off, you're going to focus purely on the PA. And when you focus purely on the PA, now you see you're getting to a different level at that point. But in the beginning, you got to play the story mode first, yeah? You're going to play story mode with color. So you kind of like understand a little bit, and then you got to take off the color and then really lock in. That's your stoic mode now. You know, where it's like you're not really playing to enjoy, you're playing to master. So it's funny how things like that always line up in life and actually make sense. Because these colors themselves should not even play a role, except maybe to just make it slightly a bit easier for you to see if it's a candle bullish or red, bearish. But you should be able to already differentiate even if you did not have. It's a nice little exercise you can do. See, even if you can't see the candle, that you know which one is bullish and which one is bearish. Right? Even without knowing or seeing color. Because back in the day, people used to trade also with this what's it called? Step line, or what is that thing? Open and close bars. Yeah. This is also a very traditional way of looking at markets. And what was the history behind this chat? I think it started about maize. It's not something to do with like wheat farming or something like that. I know there's history, but that's like the more OG way of looking at open and price, open and close of price. Yeah, it's a very interesting story about about the bars. I just can't fully remember it now, but it had something to do with farming too. And you got that, and then you have this. Gotta use the open and closes to see. Yeah, gotta see it. Still like the color? Yeah, you might like the color, but it's good just to try it out, you know. It's good just to like sharpen your blade. At least once. At least try it once. Try like a day or two or like a couple of days. Hey, what's up, Wardy? Long time no see. Hope you all having profitable week so far. Thank you, thank you. Might get the 32.75 sweep. Actually, quite surprised that it's rolling over right now. It should be actually moving upwards. The buyers, see, the sellers don't seem to be entirely exhausted here. That it's still playing out.
On that beat, going crazy.
What's the worst experience I had when I began trading? Okay, so I'm a person who really likes to sleep, and if I don't get enough sleep, then I feel like I'm never gonna be optimal. So some people are okay with like 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep. For me, like really, it's detrimental. Like I really need my sleep. So I think that was the worst part of it, was having trades basically throughout the whole day, because that creates a lot of anxiety. You know, I had a lot of anxiety in a sense back in those days, because then trading was not helping either. Being in these positions and risking real money that I felt like I couldn't afford to lose. So every time I'd take a position, obviously I'd have more of the shakes. Sometimes I'd have the shakes because I didn't know if I knew what exactly I was doing. But, I had real money on the line and I had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And, it's always a process for everybody. And yeah, that coupled with like not getting enough sleep and like always having anxiety of losing positions because I used to swing trade and hold trades throughout the day. And just having that extra additional weight was the worst experience for me. So it wasn't one experience, it was like longevity kind of thing. And thank God it wasn't just one experience, because people just have one experience and you can't really learn much from one experience as you can from being in the pressure cooker. That's how diamonds are formed. They're formed under pressure, right? So I think that's a really good way to look at it now. But if you're currently in that stage, then eventually you just become stoic. And it's a natural process once you start doing it over and over again. Just like anything else you're going to do in life. You just get better at doing it the more you do it. And then emotions don't really affect you as much. But you see, everybody's different, right? Everybody's gonna have their own different stories. Some people experiences worst experience was blowing an account, blowing school fees, you know, something wild like that. But you know, when it comes to trading, I personally don't like losing money. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like losing money, right? Like, so I've always looked at how can I lose less even when I'm expected to lose, right? When I'm expecting to lose. Because if you start any kind of a business, you don't expect to be profitable right off the bat, right? But you're expecting like to see how is a losing period gonna be. If you want to have like a hotel, for example, you got to say, okay, so when the season is not off season, how's that losing period gonna look like when you're opening any kind of a business or taking any kind of a risk? So if you already have that mental model, then basically you are a warrior in a garden, right? You're always prepared for the worst. Even when things are doing good, you're prepared for the worst. And it's definitely a give and take, because that means you wouldn't be able to enjoy a lot of life's simplicities. Sometimes it can be very difficult for you to enjoy things because you're always expecting some kind of character development around the corner. And yeah, I mean, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Maybe you're gonna notice a lot of people with money, they have a lot of stress, you know, and it's a privilege to be put under pressure, right? They're always thinking about the possible worst case scenario because they always have to be prepared. So that's a kind of like sacrifice you have to make, right? I think it's a good sacrifice to make. Some people are just built differently. Some people just don't like the problems. They don't want the problems associated with making money, right? Money comes with a lot of problems. Also depends on how you're making the money. If you're doing it in a way that's with bad morals, then obviously that money is not going to be necessarily making you feel good. You might not sleep well at night, for example. So all this comes with its own bunch of problems. So gotta be careful about how you're making your money, because you can lose yourself making money very easily, right? Very easily. I feel like making money is almost like a religion in a sense. Like you have to respect it. You see, I always like to say like, I make money, right? Money doesn't make me. So you have to be almost like pure of heart to make it sustainably, right? And how do you remain pure of heart? You stay humble. You don't let it change you. If you let it change you, you might not recognize yourself, you know, at some point. Correct? I have a lot of problems exactly now with payout a prop firm. What's my ethnicity? I'm mixed race, half black, half white. Last week of trading for me, then 14 days off. Enjoy, enjoy. What's the worst experience you had with... Oh, no, we answered that. Do I take buy or sell trades more often? I take whatever the market's giving me. You know, like, ever heard the saying, beggars can't be choosers? So if the market is giving me a sell, man, yesterday I thought we were gonna buy. Chat. So yesterday's analysis was basically like price was supposed to... Remember what we said? Like price was supposed to move up on the yesterday's video, but look, it ended up moving down. Does that mean now I'm just gonna marry my bias for price to move up? No, because I would have actually lost a lot of my buy setups. If I would have lost more if I was just chasing one bias. I mean, the buy setups actually still played out over here, but I would have lost more if I was just chasing a bias rather than if I just stuck with a trend. So all day today we've just been selling because the market says sell, so we sell. And you know, if you got the daily bias indicator, I think that's gonna help you a lot. Because some people think it's a mixed bias. It's not really a mixed bias. Price is moving towards one direction. It's obviously favoring one direction. So you can see from price when we opened, here was the Asia session, and look at the PA. PA has just been moving down, so it's definitely favoring one more than the other. Mixed bias, you might be thinking about this range from here to here. But it's a pretty big range. That's 216 pips. You know, your goal is to pull out of the market maybe, you know, like 16 pips, 20 pips. Ideally, you know, maybe 1 or 2%. That's your goal. So you have plenty of room. And you're much better off with the sells. You can even see the sells are still playing out. Even on this setup right here. It still played out the sells. Distributed to the bottom of the consolidation. Then it had that reaction again, you see? So we're stuck inside this overall big consolidation. So we keep hitting the bottom and then bouncing back up. Creating a sell setup. Then maybe come down. Should we make a buy entry? No. Do I have a long-term investment in stocks? Not yet. Yeah, I'm not yet. I'm still solving my income problem. Still don't have enough income the way I want it to be. You know, when it comes to long-term investments, I would rather invest like $1 million into something. You know what I mean? If I invest $1 million, I never have to work again. Basically, and just live a very humble life. So the main thing that a lot of us have is an income problem. We don't have an investment problem. Because you got to invest now, but those investments are going to take you like 20 years. You know, you're looking at 20 years time span for most investments, right? You got to solve the income problem first. So if you can put at least $1 million into investments, never have to work again. You can live a very comfortable life. I assure you this, a very comfortable life. So you have to first solve the income problem. Investments, you know, that's going to be long-term goals. It's a lot more difficult to save your way and invest your way to success. You're going to be an old man by the time you find the fruits of your labor paying out. You know, you're going to be better off just solving income problem and like maybe give yourself a time span of like 5 years. Really lock into something that pays you money. Pays you a good amount of money. And you do that for 5 to 10 years and I think you'll be good. You're not going to budget your way to freedom. You're not going to... Except one guy. I saw one guy who actually did budget his way to freedom. He moved to Dubai. By the time he seemed like he was in his mid-30s. But he saved literally everything. He had no life. And he had like a fairly decent job. And he had... Like he just saved all his money. And he moved to Dubai. I think he retired in Dubai. But that's not a life you want to live for years. A lot of you are not going to be capable of doing that. It's literally frugal. Gotta be so frugal. Let's see if we can find him. The query refers, yeah, I think it was this guy, right? I retired at 39 and live on a 185K a year in Dubai. The query refers to Jamal Robinson, a former American tech executive who retired at the age of 39 with 3.5 million, nest egg, and moved to Dubai. His story went viral due to his extreme saving habits and his choice of retirement location, which is insane too, because if you're rich, you go to Dubai, right? For a frugal guy to save his way to retirement and then to move to one of the most expensive cities, also it's kind of is a bit weird. Dubai is amazing if you're rich. If you're poor, you know, like, or not poor, but if you're just like frugal or want an even higher standard of living, you can go to a third world country because you will even get a higher standard of living. You might not get as much as a higher standard of living in a country like Dubai because like things are a lot more expensive and there's a lot more rules to follow, right? Yeah, but this guy, Jamal Robinson, has a cash reserve of nearly 4 million. He saved up to 90% of his pay. Chat, honestly, how many of you in the chat right now can save 90% of your salary? Right? How are you going to save 90%? It's not possible. Gotta solve the income problem. I can't save with kids especially. Bro, even if you saved 100% of your salary, it will probably take you 100+ years to afford a Bugatti. Where some people have like multiple of those Bugattis, if you saved 100% of your salary, it will take you lifetimes to buy that same Bugatti. See the entry you took this last one just now turned on my indicator. I use it for order flow. I don't know why I make it. Let's see. Bruce Lee Flex here is on another level, and the way he trained Explosion was really nice. I used to train like him in terms of movement, but the issue is injuries with age and more. Yeah, must be an insane, quite a very difficult training routine, that guy, because he does. It's not like he lifts weight. He uses, I would suppose, a lot of like body weight, a lot of calisthenics. He's not like he's built like he does calisthenics, which I feel like takes a lot of mental strength more than anything, you know. I lost a few trades and lost a girlfriend. Oh, no worries. Plenty of those to go around. So you just have to solve your income problem, and the other problem will be automatically solved. The only thing you can offer a woman is security. A woman does not need you for emotional support necessarily. The woman doesn't need you for good looks. You know, the only thing you can offer a woman is stability and support. Like in terms of, you know, that security that also comes with financial quite a lot. And, you know, to be the kind of guy who can provide that, also you need to be a certain guy, and I think you're just going to be ready at that point too. Because if you're going to get into a relationship and you're both brokies, there's nothing really much you're offering the woman, and, you know, at that point it's just based off of like, you know, when women get with men, they get with men based off of who they think they could be. The potential of who they could be. You know, even if you're a brokey right now, she sees you for a potential of what you can be, not for who you are. Let's see over here. Yeah, this thing's just bouncing. Bouncing. Probably come back to retest the lows by 42.75. But it's insane because the amount of volume that's building up here, this thing is about to have an explosive movement. That's going to come in at 8:30 a.m. Right now it's at 5 a.m. Eastern candlestick, which should actually be a slow candle. Hey, Steven, thank you for the sub. News view, bullish or bearish? It might even be a fake out. We might see a situation where price is gonna break and then skyrocket up. We're probably gonna see a nasty bottom wick here on the daily, and then prices skyrocket up bullish. I assume all of this is a pricing in. You see, like, this is profit taking. If you see smart money, look at how smart money is really dumping their positions here. Look at how price is just moving, and they're just dumping positions, right? Some profit taking currently happening. I don't know. It could be a pricing in for sells during the news time, but I doubt it because of the sentiments surrounding what we're actually expecting for news. So for non-farm employment change, we're expecting bad numbers. You know, a greater focus on 51 will be good, but we're expecting a decrease from 119 to 51K. So we're already expecting bad numbers over here for the NFP. So that's why I think like we might be seeing gold shoot up, and this is all a pricing in. They're just loading gold up right now by profit taking and then kinging positions in this consolidation. Then they'll probably do one liquidity grab here before the lows, and then move up bullish for the rest of the day. That's just based off the sentiments of what we're expecting for price. These days generation women are also traded. No need man for money. This is a man's world, but it don't mean nothing, nothing without a woman or a girl. The man built the roads. Da-na-na-na. Yeah, you got a lot of female traders. That's true. If you need psychology work, go and watch Joyce Tan. She will tell you all about spirituality and trading. She interlinks the both, but I think she's more of a mentor for women, right? But she interlinks both. I'm not saying it in a negative way, but she actually is. She's more of a mentor for women. Like that's her main focus. So she has a very interesting way of looking at markets from a spiritual sense of things. Yeah, it's quite funny. It's very interesting to watch. Because I don't know about spirituality, but you know, like at the end of the day, you're gonna have either a profitable system or an unprofitable system. You know, there's no difference between meditating before you come onto the charts or drinking shilajit. I used to think that was the case. I used to drink a lot of shilajit thinking that would help my trading as well. But it really, that's just a waste of time at the end of the day. You know, it's like all about whether you got a good strategy or a bad strategy. You should be able to wake up, even if you needed to trade the Asia session for XY reasons, and still be a soldier enough to know what you're doing. You know, trading Asia, London, or New York. I could trade either session. I just choose not to trade those sessions because it doesn't go with my lifestyle. But you have to have a system that works. You know, the system won't know if you've had enough sleep or not. Is that the Asian lady? Yes, sir. I think she's yeah, she's Asian basically. I think she's from Singapore. There's a lot of like female traders in Singapore. I used to learn from one. That was one of my first very first like kind of mentors was this Singaporean Asian lady. Let me see if I can find her. That's when I was still learning about candlesticks and price action. But she's definitely, yeah. Oh, damn! I actually found her. I just typed in Singapore lady mentor trading. Yeah, this is her. This is one of my first. It was her and another guy from Singapore.
I only trade with 3 screens, in fact. And yes, in Singapore, trading is pretty common, and a lot of people, especially the older generation, they like to invest in stocks and bonds. So for the older generation,
yeah, you're not gonna see any Lamborghinis here. So this is not a lifestyle channel. This is just going to be more like educational. But I think, you know, at the time was pretty good over here. Karen 4.
this is a message to men who aspire to all these successful people.
Yeah, much of the older ones over here. So from 8 years ago. Damn, 8 years? Holy. Doo-doo. Did she work with Vantage? No idea. What effect does Shilajit have on you? It helps with mental clarity. It puts hairs on your chest. You know, when you take that thing, it's very strong smell. Because it is basically fossilized cow shit from the Himalayas. I think that's kind of how I could describe it. And when you're gonna mix it with water, man, it has like a certain pungent smell to it. And when you take a sip, it's quite harsh. Even if you hold your nose while doing it, you still feel it later. So it definitely puts some hairs on your chest. It's a very it's like a power food of sense. And it helps with clarity. And it works. And it actually works. Like it gets you locked in, almost like you feel a coffee high. It's similar to a coffee high as well, something of the sort. Especially if you don't drink caffeine, because I didn't drink caffeine. I don't like caffeine. So when I take that, I do get a sense of a caffeinated experience, but without the agitation that coffee gives you. It makes you a bit fidgety. So it's quite good. I wouldn't say it's a scam. It actually does have some benefits. It kind of works. Maybe it just didn't work for you. But I have a very low tolerance, so it worked for me. If you like coffee and that sort of thing, maybe you got a high tolerance. Yeah, it's like some fossilized cow shit or something. Let's see. What is shilajit made from? I might be wrong, but let's see. It's a natural sticky tar-like substance from over centuries from the gradual decomposition of plant and organic matter by microbial action, which then gets compressed on the layers of rock in high-altitude mountain ranges, primarily in the Himalayas. So yeah, it's the it's decomposition of plants and organic matter. Maybe not just cow shit. Yeah, it's pretty good. Stop taking this thing. Especially, man, if you get it on your fingers, it smells like shit. But that's kind of what's good for you. A lot of things good for you in life are gonna be like that, I guess. That and honey. This and I used to take a honey thing, which is actually extracted from baby bees. So it was not the most environmentally friendly thing to be doing, but at the time I thought it helped a lot. Yeah, until I realized that the market doesn't care whether I'm on shilajit or baby honey. It just cares if I'm following my rules, if I got a profitable strategy, if I'm disciplined, showing up, managing my risk, keeping what I made for the day, and then doing that continuously, consistently. Oh, what's up, Tetra? Thanks for the great content as usual, bro. Thank you, thank you. Man, Goldie's struggling to climb. Yeah, it is struggling. It's at bottom of the range, so maybe we're gonna see buyers come back in again. Bottom of the range. Oh, let's go ahead and see some charts over here. Oh, very nice. A massive sell. I think this is Joshua here. Schwartz. Got a really nice sell over here. BE on this. Oh, it looks like my trade. This looks like the trade I took yesterday. Kind of like did a similar thing to me. Got like a 1 BE and then 2 dubs. Got a breakout. Oh, nice. Yeah, this was the one right here. That was the one right here, sir. Very beautiful trade. Market is in consolidation between bearish order blocks and bullish order blocks. There's a liquidity building up above and below. A break of the V should give us a trade direction. Oh, nice. Trendline break. Yeah, we're consolidating here. Maybe we're going to get a trendline break. If it happens during New York as well, like 8:30, I think that's going to look pretty nice. Because price right now is also just waiting for the news. Oh, nice. We got Architect here sending people trades and now trades taken. So that's saying you remember you might occasional. Awesome. Thank you for this. I wish we could pin this here somewhere. Let's see if we can pin it. Pin message. Oh yeah, pin it. You go never go wrong with a Drake one. I don't understand why people really don't like Drake, but that guy's mastered music. He definitely has like a flow that he's locked into, and he knows he can just bang out records and make a lot of money. He's definitely locked into something. Let's see this trade, this range here. But there's no structure. That's the thing. Price came down, but you still need to create at least like some kind of a structure here. If price can create at least a resistance, a form of resistance, and give you like some kind of additional confirmation that it's rejecting this zone, because then you'd have multiple rejection wicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that's gonna look like SpaceX rockets over here. This should be the flames, and then price can shoot up maybe. But right now it just does look like a rejection, and it's just at the bottom of the range, the overall range, to move upwards. So even on the 1 minute, there's nothing really like structurally speaking that looks too good. You could think of it like an inverted head and shoulders. It's a really small one. Maybe if you're on the 1 second chart or something, you're gonna see it here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then that's a follow through right here, the break of the highs, and then that could be like the fake out. But you're not going to see it so well now because it's obviously like too compressed. It's most likely playing out better on that 1 second chart, or the seconds chart. That's why it's breaking out. It's currently in like this kind of a small distribution over here. It's breaking those highs to fill this range on the left hand side. Crazy that I never gave up, but I unlearned everything. I'm only finding my edge now. Imagine after 7 years of being unprofitable. Let me see. Yeah, after 7 years, finally finding your edge. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's good that you never gave up. I was saying, like, what else are you gonna do, right? If you're gonna give up on trading, like, what else are you gonna do? Really, you know, because this is a matrix to life. Everything. This is money. This is the river right here. A lot of you wondering where this river is. It's not in the sky and the clouds. It's here in the market. This is it. This is the matrix. This is our world economy. This is everything that we have to show for. You know, for a whole human race, this is what we have to show for over here. So without this, then we have like nothing basically. So I think it's always a skill to learn. It's always a good skill to learn. It's gonna be with you forever. And you can learn a lot from it. 9 years is still going, still not profitable, but this year was good to me. Amazing, Adnan. Imagine 9 years ago, the scene was so different. That's why a lot of people starting now, they're gonna have a better edge to get profitable faster because the information and the way of delivering that information is more refined than it was even 5 years ago. I just checked your thumbnail on YouTube, so you're predicting the sell. Because you're skydiving, only way is down. Yes, sir. Actually, we were predicting buys, but yeah, I guess like it worked out somehow. The sell thumbnail. That's true. That's true. You know what I did? I just changed the title before the stream started because I just said Goldspot skyrocket. Right? That's why I said Goldspot skyrocket. Then I said, oh, we're down today. We're already down today like 0.4060%. So I changed the title there. Low key. Yeah, it looks like we are actually coming down from the skyrocket. Heading down to Earth. I made 10K on prop firm and then blew it all. Wow, you made 10K as a teen. Amazing. You know, you can do a lot with that money as a teenager. A lot with that money. You can have all the fun because you don't have that many responsibilities. So imagine teenager who learns how to trade and become profitable as a source of side income, because that's always something that we're looking as youth, is to see how can we make money, right? So I think this is just one of those avenues that if you get really good at, then you're gonna make a lot of good money. It's gonna force you to grow up a lot faster though, because it does still require character development to maintain the money that you make, because you can make it, but you're gonna also lose it quite fast. Wish I had listened to the first person who offered to help. I was ignorant, thought they were trying to scam me, would have cut short the 9 years by at least 50%. Exactly. That's the whole thing over there. That's the whole thing over there. You rather even get scammed by a guy selling you a course, but at least the guy has put effort into that course to teach you things that he saw that was worth learning, because that will still improve your duration of how long it's going to take you to actually succeed, because the guy's already been down that road. So you're getting tips. That's the whole idea. I think that's the thing that people don't also understand, is when you're seeking mentorship, it doesn't matter what, but it's like you got to get information. At the end of the day, it's all about information. Because if you go to school and a business teacher is teaching you business, but that guy still does not own a business and has never run a business, but you're still going to listen to him word for word and believe everything he says, then what does that mean about investing into something else that also it's basically the same thing? Maybe that guy doesn't actually do it, but he's teaching you something that will improve your duration of learning. Just always come at it from information perspective. Don't come at it as a need, like I need this from you, I want this from you, I own you now that I've given you this money, now you're my bitch. No, you're doing that so you're getting access to information. That's what it is. You need access to information. That's what drop shipping is as well. The people like teach you how to drop ship. They're going to teach you based off of what they have experienced, because let's say drop shipping is going to teach you how it used to be selling fidget spinners during the fidget spinner craze. You're not making money selling fidget spinners anymore, but he's teaching you how he was making money when the fidget spinner thing was happening. So you can still apply certain concepts like that today as well. And that just kind of gives you and builds your edge. It's all about experience and how much knowledge that you have. That's why as traders, it's also important for us to always get as many market cycles under our belt, right? That's the whole idea behind a market cycle. Last year has not been the same exact as this year, but there's still things I'm incorporating from last year that's still helping me survive this year, and also sometimes take advantage of certain few things, right? But if I traded the same way I traded last year, I would be unprofitable. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So access to information, man, it's super important. Super important. And then all you got to do is adapt that information. That's what successful businesses do. That's what Silicon Valley does. They take technology and then they look at this technology and say, okay, we're not back in this era anymore, but we're going to use that same knowledge to adapt it to make it better. Correct? And it's a gradual process. Oi, wife's cooking some serious pork, tofu, and rice. This is nice food over there. Got some nice soul food. Food for the soul. I am 16 and working every day toward my trading goal. Amazing. Don't give up. When I was 16, I was working towards my drinking goals. So you're already light years ahead. Yeah, Goldie's about to rip. Probably gonna dump. Probably gonna dump so much liquidity probably sitting underneath here for a fake out. Like just a strong bottom wick and then skyrocket up. It's 5:30 a.m. We're 30 minutes from the pre-New York session. Fake head and shoulder. Yeah, we got kind of one here. That's true. It's always like the head needs to be at least on top of that structure. You can see the volume starting to come in. It's like this little mini accumulation. It's actually breaking an accumulation now. It's putting the sellers there in a bit of drawdown for now, but it's hovering at entries, but it's at a break of an accumulation. Let's see what it does. It's a fairly large one. From here to here with that head and shoulders. So essentially it's breaking the neckline of the head and shoulders. Now let's see. So it's gonna take a lot of it needs volume to get through this level. This is a level we kept bouncing on, but you know, the more we retest that level, the weaker it should actually get. And we should eventually see some candlesticks go through it too. So we have a small reaction off of that support. And remove it. You can see it better. What did we just get? Oh, 30 candle opened like 2 minutes ago too. Ooh. See if it's like pays these people out here. Came straight down. No structure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stops would just be inside the range. Basically, the idea would be price should not come back in that range if it's supposed to continue moving down. Yeah, to be honest, at that point, I'll put my stop loss to some kind of a managed risk over here at 17 pips. 16, 17 pips. I think dumped quite heavy too. There's a small gap on my broker on the 5 minute. Again, this is the accumulation it's trying to break from. Struggling a little bit here. It's a wiki area. I truly do believe that we're gonna see a fake out, a big fake out come in below somewhere around here by 24.74. Push down below it. I'm not convinced this is an actual sell-off, but let's go ahead and read the news. Gold hovers near record high. So gold price over near record high around 4,300 per ounce on Tuesday as investors await a U.S. non-farm payroll report later in the day. Retail sales figures and preliminary manufacturing data are also due, while November inflation readings scheduled for Thursday will closely be watched. Markets are currently pricing in a 75.6% probability that Fed will keep the interest rates unchanged in January meeting, though some expect 2 more rate cuts next year. Limiting gains, however, where prospects of Russia-Ukraine peace deal with President Donald Trump on Monday describing an end to the conflict as closer than ever. It's not good for gold. Gold steady ahead of US employment. Gold is steady in the early Asia session. Markets are looking for a soft print around plus 50k, with unemployment rate seen edging up to 4.5%. So this all just looks like, anyway, let's see, any downside surprise could see expectations for the next Fed rate cut pulled forward, supporting gold. Yeah, that's what we want to see, like some downside on the dollar, and that would also could see expectations for the next Fed rate cut pulled forward, supporting gold. I want to see dollar weakness today, most likely. That's old news. Yeah, it is old news. This is 8 hours ago, because the only thing is The only thing is the NFP. We're just waiting for red folders, so there's no even updates. See, there's nothing for updates because there's nothing to say. They could have at least updated to tell us that gold has come down to like, or it's range bound. But they'll pretty much repeat the same thing. They will just say gold is consolidating, waiting for news. But yeah, this is like 8 hours ago here. What time folders release? 30 minutes into New York. So you gotta be very careful. Because if you're gonna be trading that time and you see volatility, you know, like when we took the sell over here, this sell was giving us a volatility of what we kind of expect when there's news. It's not like fluctuating a lot here. But we know there's no news, so we know we're safe. Unless something just happened somewhere. And somebody mentioned something for XY reasons. But we knew we're safe, there's no news. That if you see volatility like this, and you're trading there by like 8:20 a.m., 8:25, holy... Man, you're gonna be in for a surprise there. Either gonna have a really good day or a really bad day. So you gotta be careful. Just see a candlestick rip up your stop loss. Think you got 20 pips? It shoots up like 50 pips. Like 70 pips. In a second. That's why I like the London and pre-London. We don't have to deal with that. Do you trade NZD dollar? No. Although NZD is one of the most volume pairs. Like it's the highest volume pair than New Zealand dollar. Oh, the NZD has a lot of volume inside of it. I'll trade NZD, USD as opposed to Gbpjpy, JPY. Because this year Gbpjpy, JPY was just complete garbage. Let's see USD. Yeah, NZD's got some pretty decent swings here too. Really nice. Today it is up 0.05%. Had a really nice sell-off here during Asia session. Nice little breakout over here too. A little bit of a distribution play. Nice little breakout there too. Another distribution play. Goldie's giving the sellers here a hard time. So he's putting them into drawdown here again. Instead of moving down, it's decided to move up. So they gotta manage their risk over there. If they were still holding. Was this NAS 100? Another dubs. Oh shit. Drop my phone here. setting up like some kind of a reversal play. Yes, man, it's really struggling by 42.75. It's gonna have a reaction off of that. You can think of this as a floor. So every time price comes here, it's like hitting the floor. Said doji candles, what do you notice? As candlesticks are coming towards the support, we're seeing less volume. See, previous candlestick here closed a long wicks and a small body. This one also has a long wick and a small body currently. So as we're coming down to this level, you can see also with the wicks, it's like kind of slowing down a bit here. Because this is quite an important zone. Because we already know that price is ranging. We know price is just going to hold this range. Pretty much up until red folder is correct. So it knows this. It knows this. It's hovering here. It's flirting with this support. If it ever broke, if it broke to the downside, it will just do like a quick liquidity grab and then come back up. Usually that's what tends to happen on days like this whenever we get like red folders. But you see right now, it may be trying to correct this little bit of a range on the left hand side. Alright, chat, I think I'm done robbing the market for today. I'm not going to be sticking my fingers in the cookie jar anymore today. And I will just call it a day here and then we can do it again tomorrow. Simple. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. See you tomorrow. Take care, take care. Watch out for the red folders. And adios.